It is now time for us to present our presentation for Black History Month, and we are going to do it in the form of a skit entitled A History of Black Male America. And I can stick my chest out just a little bit because the author of this skit is my sister-in-law, Esther Bridges, who is a daughter of the house. As we present this is not going to be an all-inclusive look at Black male America, but it's going to be just enough to give us food for thought as to why some things are happening to us in our country. Our characters are, we have narrator one, which will be Tommy Posey. Big Joe will be played by Lee Donaldson Jr. Little Joe will be played by Michael Terrell Jr. Joe Nathan will be played by Rokyron Ashford. Charles will be played by Malcolm Terrell. Javon will be played by Anthony Ernest. Jaquan by Ryan Fuller. And narrator 2, James Brown Sr. And during the play, you're going to notice that Joe Nathan was Joe Nathan at first, and then when he gets a little education, he becomes Jonathan. You know how we do that, because I grew up with a cousin. His name was Darrell all my life. He went one semester at Jackson State, and he became Darrell. So, sometimes we can let, a little education go to our heads and what have you. But hopefully, once the end of this skit is done, maybe, prayerfully, it will renew the pride that we as Black people used to have in ourselves, and we need to get that restored back. Thank you.
Black male America. The question is, how did we get to where we are today? What has transpired between the slave auction block being the destination of many black men to the prison cell blocks being our destination today? Today we'd like to explore in a depiction of what could have possibly happened through a series of monologues of generations of black men from slavery until the present. We will glimpse at a possible evolution of a history of black male America.
I just got on my son to go to meeting clothes. But when I first come to this country, I come here in chains. And I was scared. You see, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know the language. I didn't know what they were saying, and they didn't know what I was saying. But then Master, he got me. He took me down to the plantation, and he put me in the shack down there with them other colored boys. And all we did, come first thing in the morning, we got up and we went to the field and we worked all day long. Then we went back to that shack and they gave us just enough food so we could survive on. And you know, one day I was out there in that field working, and I got to thinking. I said to myself, I was going to learn this language. And then I'm going to learn the lay of the land. And so I started learning the language. I picked me up a word here and a word there. And I was learning the lay of the land, too. I did. And you know, Master, he was a Christian. And he taken us slaves to church with him. But we had to sit up in the balcony because they wouldn't allow us to sit down there with them white folks. But while I was there, I got to listen to that old preacher. And he was talking about Jesus Christ. Now, my mind is free because I had already learned the language and the lay of the land. But then I got to thinking about Christ, and I said, my soul can be free too. So when I was listening to that preacher, I decided I was going to accept the Lord and free my soul. And that's what I did. Now, some of them other boys, they didn't got talking about running off up north to freedom. But I can't run. I got too much here to stay for. You see, I done got married. I married Nellie Mae. And we've got 2 children, Lil Joe and John Henry. And Nellie Mae needs me here to help her with them children, get them raised up right. But you know what? I still hope for a better day. And I know it's coming. I know it's coming. You know why? Nellie Mae, she can read. And she teaching them boys how to read, too. And I know that better day is coming.
Hello, I was Little Joe. You may remember my papa, Big Joe. Yeah, my papa was a good man. He couldn't read or write, but he so loved me and John Henry. He could plumb sock mama up with a biscuit. I ain't never met no man like my papa, and I want to be just like him. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to be no slave all my days like he was. But what I learned from Papa is that being free is to love God, your family, and yourself. Now I got me, my own family. I got a wife, Belle, 2 girls, Nellie and Martha, and a son, Joe Nathan. Me and Belle done taught all of them how to read. Papa was so far sure a body needs to know how to read. Now, Mr. Lincoln done up and freed the slaves. They's opened up a normal school for colored children and done asked my girls to teach their children how to read. I'm so proud of them children. And if Papa was here, he'd be proud of them too. I believe Papa be proud of me too, raising my little family how he told me to. I believe I'm going to see Papa again one day. Oh, not like a ghost or a spook of nothing, but I'm going to see him in heaven. Papa always said his mind was free, his soul was free, but his body was a slave to master. It'll be something seeing Papa with his new body that's free. Praise the Lord.
I'm Jonathan, and I'm the first one in my family to go to college. My whole family sacrificed for me to be able to go. My sisters both taught school and waited until later in their lives to marry so that they could contribute to my tuition. My mother did laundry and cleaning jobs, and my dad did whatever he could find. He was really handy with building things. He could build a house that could withstand a hurricane. Although he had to travel quite a bit to find work, he always made a practice of being home every evening if he could, and certainly every weekend. You see, my dad was a firm believer in God and family. I don't know of many or possibly any men of stronger faith, convictions, and character than my dad, unless it was my granddad. My dad had told me some things about him that are awe-inspiring. I only wish I could have known him. I miss my dad a lot, especially when it comes to dealing with Charles. Charles is my oldest son. He believes for some reason or other that things come easy in life. As a result, he doesn't take his school seriously enough. He has also been in some trouble at school. But do you know what? I have determined that Charles will not have his way. It will only lead him to destruction. I will do what is necessary. I will do what my father before me did to and for me, and what his father did before him. Yes, I think we'll just turn Brother Charles around.
You guessed it. I'm Charles. For some reason or the other, I didn't like school. Maybe it was because my dad was always talking about how important it was and about his college degree. I did fool around at school and could have done much better. I hate the fact now that I wasted all that good time. I do appreciate that my dad didn't give up on me and push me to go on and finish college. However, I will not raise my children the same way. It will be their choice as to whether or not they go to college. It will be their choice as to whether or not they go to church. It will be their choice as to whether or not they become professionals. I won't push my way on them, but I accept the fact that they are individuals with their own minds. That seems simple and logical enough for me. That's exactly what my boss Robert says about raising his kids, and they're just fine. And I'm thinking of taking that job the company offered me in New Zealand. It'll only be for a year and a half, and Cassie can handle the kids just fine without me. Just think of all we'll be able to accomplish with a little extra money. Of course, she may have her hands full with Javon, but she'll manage. I'm not running away from my responsibilities. After all, I'll be providing a better future for my family, and that's what a man does.
Man, what y'all looking at? I'm sick and tired of everybody treating me, Javon, with disrespect. Because I'm a black man with my own mind, I don't have to follow no white racist establishment rules to make it in this life. All I got to do is stay cool and beat the system. I'll work where I want, when I want, and if my old lady don't like it, that's cool, you know. But
she better be glad to have all this. So if she don't like it, she can leave it. Besides, everybody tripping about giving me a job anyway because I ain't finished high school. But I'll show them. Can I be honest with y'all? What I'm really sick and tired of is the way my life is going. I'm tired of having to borrow money from anybody who will lend it to me just so I can send my kids on a school field trip. I'm tired of wondering how I'm going to pay the rent. I'm tired of wondering about all these responsibilities being on my shoulders. But hey, what can I do about that now? I just need a break.
I'm Jay Quan, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm packing, you know what I'm saying? I'm the man, you know what I'm saying? I got 5 babies and 5 baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? When I got out of jail last week, I gave my baby some money. Their mamas don't even know where it came from. You know what I'm saying? One of my baby mamas let me use her car last week. But she didn't know I was using it to go see my other baby mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm so cool when I wear a jacket all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I have to have a little help here with my glasses because I can't see. So I'm gonna do what I can do here. Jaquan, with his cool self, lived to be a ripe old age of 19. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me start it over then. Jaquan, with his cool self, lived to the ripe old age of 19. He was shot by another young black man that was also packing. You know what I'm saying? Thus, sadly, ending the male lineage and legacy of Big Joe. It seems we have ended up almost where we started from, only trading one form of slavery for another. Okay. What's happening? Look at Big Joe. He ended up on the auction block, but not by choice. Many young black men today end up on the prison block by their own choice. Big Joe believed in God and salvation through Christ. Many today have no time for God. Big Joe believes strongly in family. Today we are trying to redefine family. Big Joe believed in teaching and training his children. Too often we allow television and society to train our children. You could possibly draw other similarities and differences from Big Joe, time to Jaquan, from today's dramatization. We have fought long and hard for our bodies to be free to do what they want, to wear what they want, to put in it what it want and crave. But even illiterate Big Joe knew that true freedom exists outside the body. He realized as long as your mind is free to learn, your heart is free to love, and your soul is free in Jesus, you are free. Sadly, we seem to have forgotten what true freedom really is. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth in Jesus Christ shall set you free. Of course, all black families do not share the legacy of Big Joe. Thank God there are still many black men in America who believe that love of God and love of one's family comes before self. May they be diligent, teach this legacy by word and example for generations to come.